high-priced hero of a smartphone, let down by some poor decisions? Join me for my review of the Sony Xperia 1 Mark V. This is going to be a completely honest and straight up review of this device because it's such a frustratingly good phone to use sometimes. It has some fantastic design features and some really niche and interesting quirks that make this like no other phone on the market, but unfortunately it doesn't have the hardware nor the software to back it up. So join me for my full review and opinion on this device. So this phone's been out for pretty much a year, so you've seen all the specs, you've seen all the other reviews, so we're not going to go into it like that. We're just going to say how it actually affects the device on a real world daily basis. Again, the screen, bright enough, good refresh rate, looks stunning, but I do have one big gripe, and I know this is a controversial one. I really don't like the aspect ratio, so thank God Sony have ditched that in the new device. I know that's quirky, and I know it's niche, but for me it just doesn't work. Also, I'm sorry, but these bezels, these aren't acceptable in 2024. It really makes the phone have a dated look. If we're talking about design while you're here as well, it does feel old now. I do like it, and that back material I really like. It feels premium, yet tactile, yet rugged. I really do like the feeling of that material, but it's kind of got these sort of bumpy, sort of raised edges where the material doesn't sort of seamlessly blend in, and overall it doesn't give a massive pleasurable experience in the hand. I do like the look of it, but it doesn't exactly set the world on fire, does it? I suppose the main tick in the box here is that lovely shutter button, and my word does it make up for some of these design issues. I love it. It's really nice to use. You know, you get a selective focus, it's a two-stage shutter button. It's brilliant. Why can't more devices have it? Huawei, if you're listening, we want that. You know, cellular reception, call quality, all sounds fine, all in line with the flagship device that you would expect. No issues with any of that. Does the job exactly how it should. Now let's talk about the speakers here, because I've heard so many people give the speakers on this device credit, and for me they just don't work. Okay, they get quite loud, but there's no bass there, there's no mid-range there. And again, I know it's only a phone speaker, but at the end of the day, this is still a feature of the phone, and we're still paying an awful lot for this device. So if other phones have better speakers, you know, you've got to say it. You know, why is nobody talking about the speakers on Huawei phones? They're some of the best on the market right now. They're good enough, but they don't deliver. And again, another controversial feature here, but that software it runs on. People love stock Android, but I've been using a really feature-rich, you know, Huawei EMUI software, which of course does feel a lot more dated in some ways with theming and stuff like that, but that's a separate video. But I really don't like the menu of, you know, the new Android style. Why are they so big, the toggles at the top? Why can't I just tap once to turn Wi-Fi on and off? Why do I have to tap Wi-Fi, then go into it, then turn it off? You know, it's just more complicated than it needs to be. The phone also has a 5000 milliamp battery, and again I found the battery life to be fine, nothing remarkable. When you're using the camera app and shooting photos on this thing, which obviously the phone's designed to do, it does kind of drain the battery a lot quicker than you'd expect, and also a lot quicker than other devices. But overall, got no issues with the battery performance. It does seem to, you know, do the job. Wireless charging is also welcome here. Nothing groundbreaking in terms of speed, but it is nice to have. Charging speed, however, from the charging brick, are definitely disappointing here. Again, I still feel like this phone stuck sort of 5 years ago. You know, why have we got no fast charger? And I don't normally talk about the unboxing experience, but oh my god, it is the worst unboxing experience of any device I've ever used. Comes in some sort of eggshell of a box with no charger, not even a cable. For the price you're paying, it's disgraceful, and I'd expect better from Sony. But we know why you're all here. And if you're looking at this phone, there's only one reason you're looking at this phone, and that's for the cameras. So there's a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. So I got this device probably around 6 weeks ago, and I was really intrigued here, and funny enough I had a trip booked for the next day, so I decided to go to Budapest, and I thought I'm going to take this as well as my daily driver, my Huawei P60 Pro, which is getting on a bit now, and I put the two side by side, and there's only one clear winner here, but you can make your own mind up. So from here you are seeing videos from a certain device.
So
I want to stress with these
cruise,
photos as well.
and
This
I
isn't just
took
taking
Sony and I felt
and reviewing the
brilliant.
result.
I can really
I
get into the
tried
software
many
here,
times
because that camera
many
app is
different
fantastic.
settings, the
I
same
do
settings
really
as my
like it.
Huawei
Offers some
P60
features
Pro,
that you can't get
and
on
the
any other
hardware just
smartphones.
cannot keep up. Of course, in the daytime it's a lot better, but let's be honest here, all phones in the daytime now can take great results, so we shouldn't be looking too hard at these. It's more in specialist scenarios that, we really should feel the benefit of that excellence in the camera department, and here the Sony just doesn't deliver. These night shots, this is supposed to be a flagship device. They're appalling. They're absolutely appalling. There's loads of noise, lack of detail. Okay, the colour rendition's pretty good, but apart from that, I don't have much good to say about them. Of course, these are unedited. They are as they come. But I'd like you to sort of comment below, let me know what you think, because I think it's important that we do compare this as closely as possible to other devices. And that's of course not to say there isn't good results out of this device. If you really, really work hard, and in certain scenarios you can get some fantastic results. However, you often miss the moment when you are trying to get those results, because there's so many photos and so many settings that you have to change to really get it right, or even comparable to different device. Okay, so now these next few photos here, so all of these ones now, these are shot on the Huawei P60 Pro. And as you can see, I tried to get as closely matched as possible, but with a moving boat, it's not always tricky. But just look at the difference in these shots. It's on another level. Of course, sometimes these can be seen as over sharpened, and with the Sony you can get a really, really natural rendition sometimes, but there's so many other factors to a photo which Sony misses out on. So the first image here is the Sony Xperia, and you can see that it's completely blown out. There's lack of detail. Not too bad of a job on the shadows here, a fairly natural rendition in terms of grain levels and contrast. But this is a Huawei P60 Pro, and you can just see it's on another level. So this isn't edited, this is straight out of the device. Colours are bang on, this was how I saw it. We had an amazing sunset. So the first two this time are shot on the Huawei. And here, again, you can see it's such a well-managed image. There's lack of noise, amazing detail, great sharpness, but it's not over-sharpened. It just gives you such a clear and crisp image in high contrast and high dynamic range situations that the Sony just can't match. However, here after this shot, you can see the Sony, and I actually think it did a really, really good job here. The Sony Xperia, again, sometimes can come out with some fantastic results. If you work hard for it and you do it on manual like this one here, then you can get some great results. So again, the camera app here that sadly is no more on the new Xperia. However, on the Mark V, it's a joy to use, and I wish more devices could have an app similar to this. Credit to Sony here, because you get some fantastic options, and if you work hard you can get some great results. But overall, my verdict on this device is, again, the idea is great, but the execution's appalling. I really, really hope that one day we can have a Sony device that we all feel proud of and we really feel courage to use. Of course, I haven't touched much on video here, because to be honest with you, I don't really shoot that much video. I have tried it for video, and I actually do like the result. The video options you get are unrivaled, and if you are looking for a device that you can have a lot of different effects and a lot of different settings, and the video on this device I actually think is really, really good, and that is where the Huawei feels short compared to this. I'm probably going to get quite a lot of hate for this review. However, this is my honest opinion and my honest findings of this device. I really, really wanted to love this device, but unfortunately it's not the case. I hope you liked the video. If you did, like, comment and subscribe, and like I say, give me your thoughts on this device. I want to know what you think.